Hello, hockey fans. Minnesota Hockey Connection is on the air. We're on the air for the next half hour. I'm Kenny Gallagher, along with Jerry Burrow. And Jerry, the Minnesota Wild made a quick exit from the playoffs. And we learned today, just hours ago, that GM Chuck Fletcher is out.
A lot of big news this weekend. Fletcher's out. The Wild look like,
The Wild are built well for a regular season, but they're not built for the playoffs in this division. And Winnipeg proved that. Winnipeg pushed us around like we just weren't. We weren't ready to face that team. And Winnipeg's not. They're a good hockey team.
And they're big.
Very big.
They're one of the biggest teams in the league.
And, boy, I'd love to see our team be like that. But we have a lot of European players, and this isn't a knock against that. But I would like to see the new general manager, and if you haven't heard, you won't see this until, when does this air? Wednesday?
Yes.
Yeah, Wednesdays. But we learned today, Monday, about 11:30 a.m., Chuck Fletcher was relieved of his duties as general manager. 9 seasons for the Minnesota Wild.
It's been there that long, huh?
Yeah, he replaced Doug Risebrough, if you recall.
Yeah.
And, boy, I'll tell you,
Goes fast.
I'd go back to the Doug Risebrough coached teams any day. Jacques Lemaire and that lineup, my goodness. But the Wild have not gotten out of the playoffs, out of the first round of the playoffs.
It's the same old, same old.
Yeah. Set up for the regular season, 100-plus points. What did they have, 101 this season?
Yeah, 101 in the regular season.
But if we're going to compete in this Central Division, we learned that we need to be big, tough, strong, and we've got quick, we've got fast, but we're not big and strong. And that's a key component, at least in the playoffs.
Well, look at it this way. We lost in 5 games, so we lost 4 out of 5 games. And I don't know. We've been doing this for how many years now? That first round and lately.
Yeah.
And it just, it gets old.
Well, it does.
You got to make changes. And I think some of these players, look at... there's 3 players, top players on that team, their top 6 forwards, that didn't score a point in 5 games.
Give us the names.
Charlie Coyle.
Jeez.
Nino Niederreiter.
Absent.
Jason Zucker.
Absent.
No points. And there's a little kid that played at Hill Murray and the University of Omaha yesterday in 13 and a half minutes. What did he do?
I don't know.
Scored 4 goals.
Okay.
Jake Genzel.
Ah, all right.
4 goals in 13 and a half minutes.
Well, let's get him on the team.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Hey, all these players are in the backyard. You got all your scouts here. They travel from here. You can look at these players a lot more than any other team.
Yeah.
So where's the Brock Bessers?
Yeah.
Where?
Yeah.
It's just...
Well, this is a telling statistic right here. This is out of Minnesota Hockey Magazine, the Home Ice Advantage, professional hockey, top 5 home countries/states for NHLers. Canada, followed by the USA, Sweden, and then it has Minnesota and Russia with... I'll tell you, Jer, I don't know who this new general manager is, but I hope he comes in here. And how many draft picks do we have? 8? I hope every one of them are Canadian-born players. And I say that sincerely, and again, not to knock against European players or Russian-born players, but there's something about the Canadian player that fits well into the scheme of grit, tough, wanting to score. If I got to see Mikkel Granlund next year score a goal and chew on his mouthpiece rather than raise his stick and clench his fist, I'm going to scream.
Well, I'll tell you one thing.
There's no enthusiasm with this guy.
I have to salute one player on the Wild. What a career. Matt Cullen.
No doubt.
21 years
No doubt.
in the league. The guy was coming on at the end of the season. He was playing pretty good hockey again at the end of the season. I wouldn't be surprised he decides not. Hey, I feel better than an 18-year-old.
Well, okay, I was going to say, we haven't heard officially. We just assumed this was it. That he was going to
basically
retire.
said that when he came back here.
I don't think he returns.
Yeah, but what a career.
Yeah.
The guy, I don't know why they even got rid of him the first time.
I agree, and we talked about that on those shows
Yeah.
after Pittsburgh picked him up, and then he came back last season. But born in Virginia, moved to the Moorhead area as a young boy, and went to high school in Moorhead.
I'll tell you what, I think this team's in trouble. Here's why. How many years ago did they sign Parisi and Suter?
5, 4,
More. I think it's more.
Okay.
Okay, but there was a 13-year contract.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to pay him through that whole contract. They're not going to get traded. They want their money. They signed the contract.
Well, you got to wonder about.
So they're not going to be able to. They're getting older.
Yeah.
They're slowing down already. Even at their best right now, they're slowing down.
You know, I'm concerned about these injuries that they have.
Yeah.
I mean, Parisi,
That too.
has a broken sternum, and how long?
Well, the last 2 years, he's missed a lot of games.
How long can you keep playing at that level and be productive?
Right.
Ryan Suter, he who knows if this injury will allow him to come back and play as effective as he did. There's no doubt the Wild missed him during the playoffs, but you can't blame the lack of a Ryan Suter the way this team didn't perform in the playoffs.
And another reason Parisi's going to get hurt a lot, he goes to the dirty areas. He's in front of the net. He's going to get hit.
Yeah.
He does it the right way, but it's dangerous.
And I've said years ago, roll the tape, that this team needs 20 Zach Parisis on it. His toughness, his grittiness, his eagerness to score, the fact that when he does score a goal, he's excited and exuberant, and he wants to get out there and do it again so bad. What does Mikkel Granlund do when he scores a goal? Starts chewing nervously on his mouthpiece. Oh!
I think one of the problems with the Wild, too, I don't think we never had one of those top 10 players in the league,
Gabrick?
He was all right, but I don't think he ever got...
How about Stahl this year?
He had a good year.
Yeah.
But still, he's not a Connor McDavid. He's not a Crosby.
Yeah.
He's not a Malkin.
Yeah.
He's not a,
But a lot of teams can say that, and those players are unique, and there are that.
I think, but it helps
elite.
when you have a player like that you're going to get a lot of goals. Ovechkin,
Yeah.
You're going to get goals.
Look at Chicago.
We got shut out the last 2 games. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what about the goaltending?
And
Dubnyk looked terrible in that final game.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, come on.
They should have had the hook after the first one.
Jeez, that was bad.
Everyone talked about that 5th game. We had to score first. Everyone was talking about that for a couple of days ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
What happened? 31 seconds.
Yeah.
Boom! 4 goals in the first 11 minutes, 12 minutes?
First period, all in the first period.
Yeah. Crazy. We're out. We're done. Pack your bags.
Previous year, same thing with St. Louis, one and done, won the first round of the playoffs, and it's frustrating. But think of a team think of a town like Toronto. They haven't won a Stanley Cup. They won 4 cups in the '60s, and they haven't been back in over almost 50 years. I think 50 years. Now, did they get bounced the other night, or did they beat Boston? Toronto.
They played tonight.
Okay, so
3-2.
they won it.
Boston, they had 3-2, and they played tonight.
All right.
The series that are going on, Columbus plays Washington. Mm-hmm. I don't know why Washington has a hard time in the playoffs. Once they get to the playoffs, they just not the same team.
And especially against Pittsburgh.
But even the first rounds, they have a hard time. They have to take it all the way. But looking back at the Wild, I'm just looking at some of these players. Look all these players in the 30s. They got Koivu. They got Parisi. They got Cullen in his 40s. They got Stahl. They got, let's see.
How many goals did Koivu have in this playoffs?
Koivu had no goals but 4 assists, but he got some points at least.
Yeah.
Parisi had 3 goals before he went out.
The Wild need to get lucky in the draft, and there's just not,
But they haven't been drafting good either. So it doesn't matter what.
You're right.
It's almost like Edmonton. And they had the first 3 rounds 3 years in a row, the first pick.
Yeah.
And the guy they traded...
Nugent Hopkins?
Hall.
Oh, okay.
Taylor Hall.
Yeah.
He's got how many goals this last year? 93 points this season.
Yeah.
For New Jersey.
Connor McDavid, he's legit though.
Hall, he's the top player in the league, I think.
Right really?
Now. I think he's the top player.
Okay.
He's the best skater. He's out on the ice all the time.
Yeah.
He's young.
How about this Boston lineup?
They're not a bad team. I like
Yeah,
that team, but
I do too.
Toronto is young and that, and they got one of the best coaches in the league, Babcock,
Yeah.
and he knows how to.
I don't think Babcock's too much of a fan favorite.
No,
I don't
but
care for the guy.
yeah, but he's a good coach. Look what he's done in his career.
But again, Toronto, a hockey-crazed city,
Right.
50-year drought in the Stanley Cup. They've gone through GMs and coaches there over the years, obviously, and it's luck. It really is. It's being able to pick that Crosby and that Gretzky and that Ovechkin in the draft and have that player to build around for a period of time and build a championship team.
Look at the best player the Wild have from drafting, and he can't play here, and we don't know if he ever will play here. I can't pronounce his name, but the Russian.
KK.
Yeah.
This is his initials.
Yeah.
What's the status? What?
He's got 2 years he has to play over there.
Okay.
And does that mean he's going to come here? No.
Yeah, well.
So that was a big risk, and I think it was maybe not the smartest risk
Yeah.
to me, because they're going to pay him good money over there. And does he want to leave? What if he meets a girl and has some kids? Does he want to leave the country?
His initials, KK, which I like, but he scored the game-winning goal in the was it the gold game against Germany?
Okay. Yeah,
The
he had
game-winning goal?
No, they said he looked good.
Yeah.
He looked good out there, but
Well, again, Chuck Fletcher, we just learned prior to coming on the air that Chuck Fletcher was relieved of his duties as GM of the Minnesota Wild, also Executive Vice President. Brent Flair is acting GM. Boudreau, what do you say about Boudreau? He can't make it out of the first round of the playoffs, and we can talk about injuries.
But does he? Is it? He did. I don't know. I can't blame Bruce too much, because Fletcher's the one that brought these people in. And some of the trades over the years, none of them worked out really. Stahl was about the only one I think that has worked out so far. But look, all those
Stewie
Buffalo, all those Buffalo players. We took every player that they couldn't win with.
Pominville sent him back to Buffalo. Got Martin. I can't think of their names.
Vanek there's a whole bunch of them.
Again, I think it comes down to the draft and drafting that special person. And I thought Marian Gaborik was that person, and he was that person when the Wild got things going early on, when they started their 2000 when they came into the league. And Gaborik came in, I think, as a 19-year-old. He never played in the minors. He made the club right from the start, and he was a super player. And
he could skate.
He really could. He had
north-south skater. Oof.
Yeah, he sure did. So, can the Wild in this draft find that player and build around him? We'll see.
I think it's going to take more than a draft. And plus, when you draft, that means you got to wait a few years still.
And you got to have draft picks. They've
they got
traded away a lot of draft picks over the years.
Right. So I don't know. It doesn't. To me, it doesn't look good, because too many players are getting up there in age. Even Dubnyk.
Yeah.
He's in his 30s too.
Wow.
So
they're a few years out, Jared.
Yeah.
Is this the last time we'll see the Wild in the playoffs for a while?
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
There's going to be some major changes to change that.
Can you speculate who might be the incoming GM?
No.
Is there any names that stand out to you?
No.
Former player?
It's getting...
Wes Walls?
I don't know. I tell you what, if there's anyone that was good, some of the better teams are going to take them.
I know, and it's so early.
Oh, but here's some other news. We're going into college right now.
All right.
This weekend, Brett Larson got his assistant coaches.
And
it's kind of funny to me. He's got the two assistants that were at St. Cloud State already.
He asked them to come back?
Yep. The one didn't want to leave St. Cloud, so he kept him. And then the other one was Mike Gibbons. He was basically the recruiter in that, and he decided to stay with Lars. So Mike Gibbons and Garrett Rabanen.
All right.
So they're going to be the assistant coaches under Brett Larson, and Brett says he likes all the recruits coming in. He likes, they were number one ranked this year a lot, so they got a lot of key players. If they stay, I think they're going to do a good job and keep on recruiting. And Brett Larson, no offense, he was one of the better recruiters that UMD's ever had.
Yeah. Ever?
Ever.
Well, I'd put Glenn Kulick up against
That's
him.
right. Good old Glenn. That surprised me. Glenn, I don't know why the pros didn't see that in him, where they didn't hire him as a pro scout and everything.
Maybe he didn't want to go.
Yeah, he did at one time.
Okay.
And I don't know. I think he did a great job bringing in some people from Canada.
But again, Brett Larson brought in players here that won
Right.
championships.
Well, they won the championship. And that was his opportunity in 2011. So he got a job as the head of the Sioux City Musketeers in the USHL as a general manager and the coach. Then he was there for a couple of years, and then his good friend, assistant coach up at UMD, Steve Rolick, and he went to Ohio State with him. And then Ohio State got their program together, you know. They were nobody. And all of a sudden now they're 2 years in a row, they're in the Final 16, and good team.
Yeah, one of the best in the Big Ten.
Right. And so then he comes back here. He gets second place and the first place.
Not too bad.
No.
Have we heard anything about who will replace Brett Larson at UMD?
Not yet.
All right.
We're hearing, possibly that the goalie coach might move up as a paying
Brant
position.
Nicklin?
Yeah, that's a rumor.
Former Bulldog goaltender?
There's a lot of rumors out there.
Sure.
But another rumor I heard, just a rumor, is Dave Essie applied for the St. Celestia job.
Nice.
So I don't know if it's true. I'm not going to...
Whether he applied or...
No. Yeah, I don't know if it's true.
Oh, okay. You heard that.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
okay.
We'll see.
Mark Wick was relieved of his duties at Scholastica. Mark had been there a while.
Yeah. That Essie, I think, would be a good job. I still don't understand why UWS, he was an All-American there, when you play there and had alumni, that they didn't hire him down at UWS. But
maybe he was asked and didn't want to go.
I think my sources say that he wanted that job.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
we'll see.
Okay.
Yeah. I was down at, the Wilderness in the North American Hockey League. They didn't show up this weekend.
Oh, no. I don't like the sounds of this.
No, they won, but they didn't play better than the other team. They just got more goals on Friday night.
Okay.
And
that's good.
And then Saturday night, they got their butt kicked. So they're done for the season.
Oh, that ended their season?
Yes.
That loss?
That was the playoff, yeah.
Oh, that's too bad.
It's the best out of 5.
Was that against Austin?
Yeah, Austin Bruin. But there was 9 local boys playing for the two teams.
I was
That's
pulling
pretty
for
good.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of East kids.
Yeah.
They got Stauber, Levi playing for them, and Crenson, Lane playing for...
Out of Marshall?
Yep, both of those kids out of Marshall playing for Austin, and Ian Mayhew for East was playing for them. And then for the Wilderness, we had Luke Dahl. We had both the Altman boys, Ash and Nick.
Really? They were still there, huh?
They had Garrett Worth. They had
Watkins from Hermantown.
Goats.
Oh, yeah.
Goats from Hermantown. They had Langenbrunner from Cloquet. And who else was there? I think that's it. But a lot of locals. It was fun to watch. They had good crowds and that.
Yeah, I saw a story. I don't know if it was the News Tribune or where, but it said that Alexandria was getting a prep hockey team under the NAHL, but it didn't list any teams that I'm familiar with in the NHL that I know, NAHL that I know. What am I missing there?
I don't know. We have to wait and see what they're talking about.
Is there 2 leagues of the
There's
NHL?
a 3. There's a 3 development teams.
Yeah, it was odd.
So
but,
I don't know.
All right.
I thought it was more like they wanted to go like a Shattuck and get people, recruit from all over the United States.
All right.
I don't know. So I saw a little bit about that too, but usually it's just rumors starting, and what really is, we don't know.
What else you got?
Let's see. Oh, they have the high performance every year. They get the top 15-year-olds, 16, 17, and 18s. And the 18s, they have 2 teams, the seniors that are seniors this year in high school, and they try to get an all-star team, but it's kind of funny. These seniors, there's hardly anyone in the top 50 seniors, so that team got beat. So, but the 18s that are going to be playing high school hockey still one more year, they won the whole thing. So they play against teams like North Dakota, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Massachusetts. So it was a good thing there. Then they have the top 54, 16, and 17-year-olds. So they had some local boys on those teams, and some of them look good. Like I'll tell you some players on the 18 team. Darian Goltz for Hermantown. He'll be a senior next year at Hermantown. Hunter Payne played good.
Yeah.
Gavin Rasmussen.
Yeah.
Another one that played good. So, I mean, a lot of good kids. And then we had Logan Anderson on the 17 team. What else was on there? But there's a few up north and that, so they all look pretty good.
Now, where was this?
At Plymouth. Every year they have it down in Plymouth where Rosetta plays their high school games.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is...
It's a high-performance USA hockey. And then they'll get one team out of every age group that's going to New York to play all the other states and that.
Now, this format has replaced what was called the Chicago Showcase.
Well, in a way, yes.
Well, the Chicago Showcase is no longer played.
Right. What they used to do is the Ted Brill grade 8.
Yeah.
And then they took all the kids that haven't committed yet, and then they made the all-star team. And what happened with the grade 8? From there, they made still had great teams, Minnesota, but they went to Chicago. But over half the teams, they can beat blindfolded 7-1 or 8-1, you know.
Yeah.
So there's no competition hardly.
Yeah.
So that's why they stopped it. And we're still not getting our best kids over there because we're not sending the ones that are committed. So they stopped it. So now they have a national tournament, and everyone gets their top kids, and we bring our top, like they had 54 on the 16s and 17s, 3 teams. And so they'll make one team out of those 54 now, and then August, late July, they'll go over to New York and play all these other states. So,
oh, good.
Yeah.
See, I wanted to ask you, Jerry, there was a post that you posted to our Facebook page, Zach Fitzgerald. Is that the same Zach Fitzgerald from Duluth?
He played freshman year and then took off for the Western Juniors.
Yeah, I think he went to Ann Arbor first. I think he went to the development, if I'm not mistaken. But that's the Zach Fitzgerald?
Right.
How old is he?
He's 32 years old now.
My goodness. So what was the story again?
He's over in the English Pro Hockey League.
Playing?
Yes. He's played there for about 5 years.
Jeez.
He's back to his original team over there. It's called, the Brayhard Clan.
And he's brother to Rusty Fitzgerald.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
It's an English Ice Hockey League. And he's going to be the captain of the team. But I always remember him. He was a fighter.
Yeah, he was tough.
And he played out in that Western Hockey League.
Yes, he did.
He fit right in.
Yes, he did.
Right in. Well, they got to the championship game. The last game, winner takes all in the Western Hockey League.
And? Guess
what happened?
He got in a fight.
No.
Oh.
He scored 2 goals.
And?
And they won the game.
Yes.
2-1.
Okay.
What the hell?
Really?
He never scores.
Well,
he scores 2 in the championship
I got to
game.
tell you, I may have mentioned it before, that I was in Seattle back in 2008 maybe, 10, 12, 11 years ago. Anyways, I was in my motel room, and, at the front of the phone book, you got local stuff, and there's a picture of Zach Fitzgerald and the schedule for the Seattle Thunder Kings, or whatever they're called.
Yeah, Thunder.
Yeah, and I thought, isn't that something? A Duluth kid pictured in the Seattle phone book, the featured player for that.
Thunderbirds.
Yeah, that featured player for Seattle, and that's him, still playing. Yeah. My goodness. Well, Rusty wasn't too shabby.
He started over there in 2001.
In
Seattle.
Okay.
2001.
Now, Rusty played NHL.
He played for Pittsburgh, the Penguins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. So go to our Facebook page to learn more about that story with Zach Fitzgerald, Duluth kid.
We got another commitment from a local boy, too, this week.
Okay.
George Granis. He started out the year for Duluth Marshall with a lot of goals. He was the top scorer in in Minnesota for goals.
Yeah.
And then he slowed down at the end of the year, but he has great hands. I think he's going to be a good fit out there.
Clarkson.
Yeah, Clarkson U.
All right.
Clarkson Golden Knights.
There you go.
They're following their Vegas Golden Knights recruit from there. No.
And St. Norbert, the Green Knights. So, what do you make of this Vegas team sweep in L.A.?
That was my upset team, L.A. I didn't do good, did I? Got swept.
Yeah, my goodness.
Crazy.
Well, now they
here's the most surprising thing on the Vegas team. They got this goalie that's older than dirt.
Fleury.
Yeah.
Well, he comes from Pittsburgh.
Yeah, but they brought in the young one, Murray, and Mark Murray. Is it Mark that plays for Pittsburgh?
I think so.
But he got let go, and he was a fan favorite and everything, but he had some bad games. And they started mixing the two.
Yeah.
Before you know it, he lost his job, and they put him up on the,
I wasn't overly excited when I learned that the Minnesota Wild lost Eric Holla to the Golden Knights.
He had his best year ever.
There you go.
Over 20 goals.
20? He had over 30.
Yeah. Well, there's another kid that only had 7-8 goals for Columbus last year, the Carlson.
Yeah.
And he had 40. He had 40-some.
How about former Wild prospect Alex Tuck?
He had a good year too.
Did he?
Yes.
My goodness.
We lost. I think we lost him in the trade, though.
I think he was a first-round pick.
Yeah.
Tuck.
I think we traded him.
My goodness. Good storyline. I don't remember what game it was. We don't have a lot of time to talk about it, but Rao and Sealer got to play together. Two former high school
Eden Prairie
mates at Eden Prairie got to play in a playoff game, so that was kind of neat.
Folks,
we're out of time. We've come to the end of the program. We want to thank the staff at PACT-TV, where this program is produced in downtown Duluth. Go to our Facebook page, find us on Facebook, and like us there, and check out the content that we have there, exclusive content, some. And our YouTube page, we have a YouTube channel, if you will. We post all of our episodes there, along with some other content, and MinnesotaHockeyConnection.com. And Jerry, with that, final thought?
Yeah, there's still Stanley Cup, and the USHL and North American Hockey League are still doing their playoffs, so I go on your computer and look it up and watch the Stanley Cup on, a lot of games are on NBC, especially on the weekends. That's all. I mean, if you don't have cable.
And we learned the Wild are looking for a new GM. Chuck Fletcher out, so the search is on for a new GM with the Minnesota Wild. And we'll be back here next week to drop the puck. We'll see you then.